I'm coming to you from the future. Or maybe I'm coming to you from the past. Either way, it wouldn't really matter. There's something going on in the sky. Fornication. I'm not trying to be graphic. I'm telling you that the visions that the prophets had are on your screen, like Revelation 13. Now you've seen it. John saw it. Daniel saw it. We don't have to interpret what they saw. They just said what they saw. And it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. This is not an interpretation. This is an observation. See? You're observing it with me. Now, what are we observing? Well, a lot of things. We're observing the future and the past of 2,000 years of people anticipating seeing what you see on the screen, because the prophets wrote about it. So maybe I'm coming to you from the past, but I'm actually coming to you from the present, or the future, because it's kind of all one story, one thing, and it's not easy to explain that. There's a reason why there's a dragon up in heaven on your screen that you're observing, that I just made you bear witness to. That dragon is giving his power to something else that the whole world worships. Well, minus the flat earth crowd. They don't believe in it. There's a reason why they don't believe in it. Because it's a lie. It's real. Fire coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. John said he saw that. And he said he saw fornication, the kings of the earth, which were horns. Those, I think I've got a technical issue. Yeah, I think my program might quit. Something. Yep, it just quit. So it might be locked for a minute, but I think it should it might start out with a whole new setting. We'll see. It'll be fun. But it's important what I was talking about. John, in Revelation 12, saw war in heaven. And what does that mean? I hope this is still working to record. Okay, it's going to play a movie right away. Oh, good. It's playing it without sound. Let me try something. Sorry about this technical issue. Okay, what is that on the screen? That just so happens to be there. And I paused it there. While I'm loading this other preset, look at that picture. Where does God live? What does Isaiah 66:1 say? It says, it's the Lord. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. Or something like that. Is that... I might be in the wrong verse. I don't know. Let's see if I can skip right to... where is it? Sorry, guys. This was not supposed to go this way. So it should put me with a screen share. Alright, hello. It might not be as good as what it was before, but this is what you get for a $50 program. Actually, I love it. It's a good program. I would never complain about it. You can actually see it on the screen right there. You can go... it does a lot of stuff. I can hook up one of my Nikon cameras. Yeah, if I go, there's Canon, Nikon, but you have to buy the... I could turn this Nikon one on, but you have to get whatever camera that you have that you want to hook up on there. They don't have all of them, but anyway. So why was I playing that video? Actually, I'm going to try to get that back on the screen because I wanted to actually... Okay, we're just going to look at one of them, and it's going to just play in the background over and over because I want to get it through to everyone, anyone that's watching, anyone that is understanding that this is significant as far as what being a Christian really is. It is that you can see this is a problem, or that you can at least think about it and say, well, I don't know why they're doing that. What is that? What's going on up there? I'm going to explain to you exactly what's going on up there on your screen. I'm just trying to fix something really quick. Sorry. It bugs me if... See how I can change that? Oh, it's probably because maybe it's the wrong color. See, there's my green screen. There we go. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to be picky about it. I'll just shrink myself down to look better. Okay. In Revelation 7, and I don't even think I need my Bible to explain this. I'm not going to try to quote word for word everything, but I do want you guys to look it up. If you don't know the verses already, like, you can grab your Bible. I'll tell you exactly which verses I'm talking about. If you turn to Revelation 7, just like the first 4 verses there explain something about the heavens. I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to have to. Let me just set something up. You know what's cool? I can do this. I can do as many of these as I want. Isn't that neat? I'm just showing you what this program can do. It's pretty cool. And then I can zoom in if I want. On one of them at a time anyway. Whoa. Okay. That's not why I was doing that, but okay. I'll probably end up overloading the program and having it reset again. Okay, so in this window we're going to do desktop, part of desktop, and then I gotta go to Bible Gateway. I'm just gonna pull it up because, whoops, my computer is really going slow. In Revelation 7, actually, I don't really need to pull that one up. I need to pull up Enoch 18. Whoops, that's not going to be in Bible Gateway, though. Sorry, guys. I'm not thinking. Because this is really important. And I have a video I made of, I just read Isaiah 12, 13, and 14. I already put it on Facebook, but I'm going to play that after I get done explaining what this is, what you guys are seeing. And now I think you're probably seeing my screen, I'm guessing, in that screen. Yeah. But in the behind that rocket launch is what I'm trying to explain. I never even... Okay, good. It looks like my mic's working. I never even went to the chat or anything. We're just going to look at this. Okay, first of all, yeah, we can learn about the winds before. Okay, we'll go to Revelation 7 right after I read a few verses of Enoch 18. Because Enoch got shown some things that doesn't really seem like they would matter much until all of a sudden we have these things going on up in the sky. Because this is all in the Bible, you guys. This is all part of the revelation of Jesus Christ. It's the end of days. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. Okay, this word right here is kind of the focus. The winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. So he furnished the foundations of the earth with the winds. Okay? Whatever the winds are, I think we don't really need to be specific about that. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the firmament of the heaven. They're the firm. He made the firm foundations of the earth, furnished with them the whole creation of the wind with the winds. That's crazy. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven. So is that the firmament? The winds stretch out the firmament? Is that what that's saying? I don't know. I think that's probably... Let's just because this is kind of how I do a lot of right clicking. Yeah, let's see here. Dome. I wonder, yeah, I'm not gonna go try to find the Hebrew and stuff. I can study that later. The point being is that these winds they do something, you know what I'm saying? They do something physical. It says they stretch out the vaults of heaven, so that I'm guessing that would be the firmament, and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. He furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. So, foundations of the earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. Okay, you guys, this is something that I know it's not just me. This is something that a child would understand, that what the winds do. Okay, they do a lot, obviously. This is what Enoch is saying. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. So these winds, they do a lot. The four winds bear the earth and the firmament of heaven. I mean, they're the pillars of the heaven. He furnished with them the foundations of the earth. Okay? Whatever that looks like, I don't know. But the information should be able to be comprehended, that the winds are holding things up. They're the pillars. There's something with the foundations. Okay, that's important. Now, we'll come back to Enoch 57 because we can learn more about how these firm foundations of the earth actually got moved out of their place. It was men that did it. And they were riding on something on the winds. We'll study that if we get a chance. That's Enoch 57. And then in Enoch 60, just if anyone's interested. Enoch 60 is the last day of God's long suffering, and the heavens shook and quaked, and you can read about it. Maybe we'll do it. But I want to focus on the war in heaven in Revelation, because it's on your screen. So let me just get rid of this screen share then, so that we have the same thing in the background. And I'll change to a different one. Okay, sorry. I'm going to get another one on there. It's a little different. This is another SpaceX Dragon launch up to the space station, which is the 8th wandering star, because there's 7 planets. And if you're just looking up with a telescope, you're going to see 7 stars that do retrograde and all they're nothing like the other stars. All the other stars in the sky do something different than these 7. And so when I read in Enoch 18, the same chapter we were in, I'll just read it rather than do the screen share. He goes up and to a region, the end of the great earth, where the heavens were completed, and I saw a deep abyss with columns of heavenly fire, and among them I saw columns of fire fall, which were beyond measure, alike towards the height and towards the depth. And beyond that abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of heaven above, no firmly founded earth beneath it, and there was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. I saw there 7 stars, like great burning mountains. Okay, so he saw 7 stars, and I'm just going to brief it up for the rest of it. They didn't obey God. They broke God's commandment. At the beginning of their rising, they broke God's commandment, so he bound them there in that darkness. And he says, this is a quote of Uriel, says, "This has become a prison for the stars and the host of heaven." Okay? 7 stars imprisoned in the sky. This is new information to many people and myself. It's hard to get it to sink in, but this place up in the sky is not anything other than a prison for stars and the host of heaven. And I'm going to go quickly over to chapter 19, because they're standing there, or they're in that place, and Uriel said to me, "Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women." Genesis 6, and all the giants and the flood came. Okay, that whole story, guess where those angels, they were buried in the earth for 70 generations in Enoch 10. And then they were led, after they served out that judgment or whatever, then they were led off to the abyss of fire. And that's where Enoch just saw beyond the abyss, he saw 7 stars that were imprisoned in the darkness, where there's no water and no birds. They're in the firmament. So whatever's going on behind me gets to be a concern, and it also proves that it doesn't prove it shows me anyway, and it'll show you if you understand what I mean, that the times, it'll, like, where we are and what's happening in the world, and there's a big subject of debate, and you all know what I'm talking about. But that subject is much more than a debate, and it's much more than what people think it is. And that's it's an opportunity is what it is. And it's actually, we are talking about life or death here. We are. It's a crazy thing, but okay. I'm just gonna open up Revelation 7. Okay, remember Enoch, the winds? Okay. I'm just gonna read it here. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Okay, I want to stop there. We'll come back to that to get more information. But so he saw 4 angels holding the 4 winds. They were holding back the 4 winds. Now, I want to tell you about those angels. This is what I just learned recently about those angels. They're Michael's angels. And they're fighting with dragon. John already saw this. Saying this is not an interpretation. Don't think that it is. John told us what he saw. And I'll remind you guys that he looked up in heaven, up in the sky, and he saw a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Well, we happened to see something just like that September 23rd, 2017, and it was a big hype. So don't forget about that. When John looked up in the sky again, and what did he see? He saw a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. It had 10 horns, okay? This dragon launch that is the Dragon capsule. They made 10 of those. And then they started making now what they're going to be flying Crew Dragon. They've been doing a lot of testing and a lot of demo launches with it. Like their goal is to launch astronauts again, because NASA doesn't even have the capability to put an astronaut in space. But they have the ISS, so how do they get there? This is all in these visions, because that's the beast. 20 years old right now. And you know what's funny is I have a great example. A friend of mine, a good channel, Gen 6 Projects, Caleb. If you go to his channel, his latest video, he saw a UFO. And I don't know if it was the space station, but I'm assuming it was. But it's kind of interesting that there's so many different things. Okay, that beast came up from the sea. I think that means up from the bottomless pit, the abyss, that darkness, the dark waters, the waters above, the great deep. I don't know how many different names it has. Thick clouds of the skies even. That's what it says in Psalm 18, I think. Okay. I got off track there. So he saw a red dragon. I gotta do a screen share. We have to do a search because I wanted you to observe something with me, or help me observe something. So I gotta go back here and get a screen going and get a desktop going again. And we might even have a kitty visit us. I think we will. Maybe not. Because, okay, I just want to show you this. Hopefully you can see what I think you can see. Yeah. Where is it? Okay. There appeared another wonder in heaven, behold a great red dragon, right? So we're going to search that out by typing in SpaceX red dragon. And we're just going to go to Wikipedia. I just want to do like a basic, this isn't like complicated, but you have to witness it. Oh, it says not responding. Oh, there we go. SpaceX Red Dragon. Or no, that's... Uh-oh. I think it should be fine, hopefully. Hopefully the stream is working. It seemed like my internet was really slow today. Okay, hopefully you're seeing that page. This is 2011 to 2017. When did we see the woman clothed with the sun? In 2017, right? And that's about the time when this was canceled, too. Let's see, where was it? Does it say? In February of 2017. Noted this date was delayed, blah, blah, blah. Development would be halted and resources directed to Starship. Okay. But do you understand that this this little horn, Daniel 7 verse 8, okay, again, not a interpretation. Daniel gave us his testimony about something that he saw. And the people get the wrong idea. That's what, who rules the heavens? Well, I believe God does. But most of the world believes that Elon Musk is preparing a place for them in heaven. You guys need to wake up. Parable of the Vineyard, wake up. All you guys. Like, I love and respect what you do. But in the time we're in, like, if you guys call yourself watchmen, anybody that calls themselves a watchman, you need to open your eyes to what reality is happening in our world. When there's fire coming down out of the sky, who cares if it's on a rocket? It's fire coming down out of the sky. And if you're going to ignore that, that is like the opposite of a watchman. That you're sleeping on the job if you're calling yourself a watchman, okay? And a lot of people say, oh, I don't agree with your interpretation. I'm not interpreting anything. Daniel, let's see what Daniel, okay, you know, I was saying about NASA can't get an astronaut into space since 2011, right? And so how do they get to the space station? Well, they have to buy tickets from Russia and fly on a Russian Soyuz. This is just something that's been going on for 8-9 years now. But the beast that comes up out of the sea, it has the feet of a bear. Just think about it. It has the feet of a bear. And it has a deadly wound. And Dragon is what's going to heal that wound with Crew Dragon or whatever. I'm just saying this story is actually in the Bible. What we're living right now in our world. And it's a real big problem because, okay, he saw these 4 beasts. I don't remember. Oh yeah, the second leg to a bear. This is the Soyuz. Had 3 ribs in the mouth of it. He's seeing the Soyuz. I mean, that's kind of, you'd have to study a little bit. First was like a lion, had eagle's wings. Had wings, okay? I beheld till the wings were plucked thereof, or thereof were plucked. That's 2011. Shuttle retirement. That thing had wings, you guys. The shuttle had wings. And it was lifted up from the earth. Okay, this is Daniel, not Joe. This is Daniel's testimony. He saw this. And it should make sense to you if you believe we live in the end of days, because Daniel saw a vision of the end of days. So it's unbelief that I see, I guess. You just are like, no, that couldn't be, or something. This is what Daniel saw. And it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man. Like, how did they launch the shuttle? They had to tip it on whatever. And a man's heart was given to it. Okay, now, look at, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. Have you guys seen what the space station looks like? the solar arrays. First of all, they're scarlet colored. Okay, the four winds of heaven. Sorry, I got side. Okay, this is what. Look at. Behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. That's important, or it's significant, whatever. So, in Revelation 12, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Look on your screen. The dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. So John is seeing this. He's explaining what he's seeing. And his angels were cast out with him. Look at this. We got our friend here. This is Cupcake. She's a purring machine. Check this out. I had to stop for that. I'll try to get her close to the mic. Whoops. Cupcake, come here. Alright, I'll leave her alone. She kind of wants to hang out, I think. Okay. Do you realize where heaven is? It's up there. The temple of God is up there. The Holy Spirit dwells in men, yes. We are the temple of God. But the temple of God is in heaven, which is in the sky, the Shamayim. That's what it means. Lay down, buddy, or get down, one or the other. But look what it says, now has come salvation. Okay, so does that alarm anyone? Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Okay, well, remember we were reading about the prison that those stars were in? And then those Genesis 6 angels were put there too? That prison... No, buddy. Get out of here. Here. I had some rice, and he was going after the bowl. Chicken, whatever, rice. Flavored rice. Okay. When this happens, it's something that we're going to see with our eyes. And I know that you guys are well aware of that, if you're reading the Bible, I mean. Because that, again, this is John's testimony. Now, Revelation 13 is right on your screen. Okay, I don't know if you saw let's see, where's the, oh, it's right here. But this won't show. Okay, how you guys doing? Cool, Anthony's in here. Michael Spencer, let's be practical. It's trying to catch up. Davey 313. Good to see you guys. Cold Fire Ice 8044. Welcome. Okay, I know I'm terrible at explaining and the technical difficulties. Hey, no thanks is in here. And Damsel Medic, is that what that is? It went too fast. Truth 101. Yeah, Damsel Medic. Good to have ya. Let's be practical. Anthony Dickinson. Okay, so what's on the screen right now? Or, well, what kind of screen do you guys see? Okay, let's just get rid of this again. So in Revelation 7, he sees those... let me just read these verses. And think about the winds. They're the foundations, he furnished with them the foundations of the earth. And they're the pillars of the heaven. Okay, after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on any sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. I think that that's Michael, but it doesn't say that. I just think it is. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. So, common sense, they're holding back the winds, and the winds are going to hurt the earth and the sea, okay? Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So we know that there's a time, at least, where he says, no, don't do that yet. Don't loose the winds yet. Like, hold on until we've sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So there's a time period here, or there, whatever you want to consider it. There's a time period. And I'm not trying to talk about how long the time period is or something, because I don't know. But what I'm saying is that there's a time when the servants of God start getting sealed in their foreheads, and when the angels are holding the winds, or when they let go of the winds or whatever. Okay? And then I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Then it goes through the tribes, and the next thing it says in verse 9 is, this is John's testimony of what he saw, okay? And he's telling us, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and peoples and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne and about the elders and the 4 beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces and worshipped God, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sunlight on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes. Now, I didn't plan on reading all that, but this 144,000 just turned into an innumerable multitude. And that's during that time, because they're saying salvation unto our God which sitteth upon the throne. They were, what I'm saying is that's what happens during that time while they're holding the winds, while they're holding back the winds. And then there's war in heaven, okay? When we see war in heaven on the screen, you bear witness to it now. When you see that, what do you think is happening elsewhere? It tells us, I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So why is this so important? Because, again, a lot of people know these verses, but let's go back to reality again. Let's go back to 2020. I couldn't remember if I was coming to you from the future or the past. That all kind of got ruined. I was trying to go for, just for fun. But it's important. It's so important. I don't know the time limit or whatever, that time period, I mean. I don't know that. I think a lot of us have ideas about that, but that's not even really what I would even want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, what is the thing that's happening that John saw happening? And Daniel actually saw it too, but it would take forever for me to go over all this stuff. I'm trying to make this not be forever. John saw an innumerable multitude of people that had washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb. I think that I got to go to Revelation 3. One of the most important verses to apply to today, and I'm just learning this, is Revelation 3 verse, I'm just going to go there. I think it was 21 is one of my favorite verses, but actually that isn't. It's like 17 through 21. Oops. Because this is so true about every one of us that lives in this world. It's what we all need. But because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. Just picture yourself like that once. And that's what we all could look like in this world. Just living here. I'm not saying like we're actually blind and naked, but to what exists and what will be and what won't be. This is just so important. Okay. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, miserable, poor, and blind, and naked, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed. So remember, they had washed their robes. So Jesus, he's offering this to anyone, to everyone, because this is what he wants. He wants you to buy. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire. He wants you to invest in him, like invest in the gold that he has or whatever, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. Like, just think of Adam and Eve. Like, I don't understand why or something, but when they sinned, they realized that they were naked. So whatever significance that has, I don't know, but it has significance. Like, I don't know why, but I'm just saying that you can understand it, I think. That the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. How many people did Jesus heal that were blind? Me. He healed me. Okay. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. And I think the whole idea of repent, for the time we live in, I'm going to apply it to reality. We've all been worshiping a false image. We've taken the glory of God, and we've turned it into a false image that's corruptible, like the flesh, you know. So this is what he says. So repenting is just turning away from that. Jump off the ball and don't look back. You don't need it. It's not even real. But pictures from space. Yeah, pictures from space. You know, there's dark waters up there. I wonder what a flat Earth would look like through those dark waters filled with evil spirits and fallen angels that took human. Those angels are locked up in there. So what have they done? They've fooled our whole world into trying to go there and breaking them out of their prison. And in Revelation 12, the dragon's tail casts a third of the stars down. Stars are angels. Falcon 9 rocket lands, and it uses fire thrust to... It's moving supersonic at the face of the earth from heaven, and it uses fire to slow itself down so it doesn't crash into the earth. And then they reuse it because they can soft land it. Okay? This is a new thing. This is started in 2015, in December 21st. It was the first time they landed a booster, an orbital class 2-stage rocket. That's a big deal. That's in the Bible, Revelation 13, verse 13. Look it up. No, it's not an interpretation. It's an observation that John made in his vision, and that you are going to have to see it. I better make you bear witness to it. I don't know if I have... Let's see, I probably have something that I can... Image... I know I have something. It's on the thumbnail of the video. Okay, so... This here. I'm just going to show you this. This might be acceptable to see, like, yeah. Because we might see that happen. Burning things falling from the sky. We're going to see that happen. Or that's going to happen here. I don't know who's going to see it happen, but it's going to happen here. And let's see here. Okay. Oh, here we go. I do have one. Uh-oh. Oh, good. I thought it was going to lock up on me. There, this is just an image of how that rocket comes down and lands. It's just a few clips of it, so it's nothing too special, but there you go. That's fire coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And there was war in heaven. Heaven is the sky. So the four winds. Look at what's on the screen. You guys tell me what you think of the four winds of heaven. Holding back the four winds. And then there was war in heaven, and Michael and his angels. Remember, there was that angel that he saw, and he said, we're going to seal the servants of our God in their foreheads. So hold on. Don't lose the winds yet. Right? Well, and then dragon, which is on your screen. You bear witness to it now. Dragon is going up to where? To give its... We can read it in Revelation 13. They worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Well, it's hard to make war with something that is in heaven, right? And then look at... And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Uh-oh. John saw that too. I see that. I see it all over. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So, I don't think Okay. So John saw another beast come up out of the earth. Rockets are something that come up out of the earth. Dragon and Falcon 9. And he had 2 horns like a lamb. The Falcon 9 is a 2-stage rocket that does have 2 horns on its little logo. So, could be either, kinda. And he spake as a dragon. That Falcon 9 lifts dragon up into orbit. So, and then verse 13, he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Well, for the Christians who think the flat earthers are crazy, look what it says in the next verse. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So what is that saying? This same thing that's going up out of the earth and making fire come back down is deceiving them that are on the earth. This beast is deceiving them by making fire come down from heaven. By doing that, it's a miracle that he's doing only because of the beast. So the beast, there's so many different subjects I could talk about where everybody skips. They're thinking about this like, yeah, I don't know. You gotta think about it like a child would. Not like, there's a lot of people that have all their, like, they do a lot of like numbers and codes and like this represents this, and it's all wrong. Nothing represents nothing in these, in it may, but that's not like where it says he's has 2 horns like a lamb. I don't understand what that means, but I don't think I need to. I think someday I will, but okay, you know, it says, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that. I want you to help me observe how we do that. Count the number of the beast. I want to count the number of the beast. So, if the beast is scarlet colored, I think that's in Revelation 17. And it has 4 wings on the back of it, like a fowl. It also has 4 heads. I don't know what all this stuff means, but I don't think we need to. Because we already know that John had to go, the angel took John away to the wilderness in the spirit. John wasn't even in his body. He wasn't on the earth. He wasn't in his body when he saw Babylon and the beast. He went to the same place Enoch went, to the prison for the stars and the host of heaven. That is not, it's hell. And people really have a hard time, and myself included. But I can show you in the book of Jude. I don't even need to go there. Okay, in the book of Jude, verse 13, he says, raging waves of the sea, dark waters, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Where is darkness? We know where darkness is. People say it's all over the place. It's everywhere in the world. Okay, I'm not talking about that kind of darkness. I'm talking about actual literal darkness. Like, I guess I'm going to have to play a video Because the astronauts, they know what darkness is probably better than us. So we have to listen to a video that I played yesterday, I think, but I gotta play it because gotta hear what these guys are saying. Maybe this is it. This might not be the one. I'm taking my chances.
The weird part about it is space is so incredibly black, so incredibly dark. It's a bottomless pit of deep black, almost so deep it almost has a texture when you look at it.
Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. The blackness of darkness forever. Well, I believe he's clearly talking about him. Because in the Bible, there's a place where there's darkness forever. And it's called hell and the lake of fire.
When you come in from a spacewalk, you're surrounded by the emptiness of space. It's sort of like the opposite of air. There's nothing there at all. When you quickly repressurize the hatch and you open up the hatch and you smell, what is that lingering smell from a place that used to be exposed to space? The smell in there is a little bit like that trace of a smell of gunpowder or burnt steak, or sort of like brimstone, like a witch has just been there.
Brimstone. Go to that metallic gunpowder fired smell.
Looks like, is there a problem with the feed or something? Or I mean the stream? It looks like the chat's caught up by now. Was there someone causing problems? There probably always is. Anyway, I do have a video to play that I kill the vid, effed up world. Kill it? Or what? I was censored? Could have been, it could be my internet or something. I'm just trying to understand what was going on in the chat. Oh, I have to get that other video in here. I don't really know. I just have to say, if you're going to ignore the fire that's coming down from heaven, from that mouth that's speaking great things, that, you know, the guy that says he's preparing a place for us, for you, for whoever, Mars, he's talking about moving whatever 50 million people there or something by 20, or I don't remember the numbers. You guys need to wake up to this stuff. And Enoch has a lot of information. A lot of information. I kind of feel like playing this video instead. This might go a little longer. Hopefully, now, these people that I talk about, or that I have in this coming video, even these people think that I'm like attacking them. But they need to remove themselves. I'm not attacking any person. I'm attacking an attitude of like, I'm attacking a certain kind of rebellion, like rebellion against the Word of God, and basically rebellion against following the Lamb. So it's a serious thing, but it's not that I'm against these people. They're falling into something, or it did say, what did it say in Revelation 13 and in Daniel 7:21? This little horn and this mouth that speaks great things, he's going to prevail against the saints until the Lord comes. And so I don't know why I have to see that myself, and I don't know why I have to say these things, but obviously I do. I'm saying I have to point these things out. I'm like, I don't know. Adam Fink is the one that got me going on Revelation 12. I didn't understand that at all until I found his channel and watched some of his videos or whatever. Like, he had been studying a lot of things about that. So that was very interesting to me, because I had already noticed about the red dragon, and I was trying to tell him way back then, look up there. And I mean, I'm not saying anything against these guys, but if anything, I'm pointing out how much they do know their Bible. They know the Word of God. They've studied it. They're well studied. And so that's why I'm saying they should understand this, but there's something keeping them from understanding it. But I think this video will help to make my point.
Gives us with the second sign, which is the sign of the dragon, in which the dragon was standing before the woman ready to devour her child. So let's read those verses together real quickly. Revelation 12 verses 3 through 5. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And we're going to see this because it's very clear that the man-child, that the dragon is on earth ready to devour the child as soon as it was born. And so it could be up in the sky waiting, or it could be cast down, and it shows right here that, you know, in verse 4, that his tail drew a third part of the stars in heaven and cast them to earth.
What? Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
It's very clear here that that Satan and his angels, the stars has been represented in the Bible so many times as angels. His angels, the original rebels, will come back down to earth, will be cast down to earth, and I fully believe that what we'll be seeing is that a visual of what Hollywood likes to show and portray, especially in end times movies or doomsday movies or apocalyptic movies. They'll show dozens, if not hundreds, of what are called meteorites or asteroids coming to Earth. And I fully believe that this is what the visual is going to look like when they come down. Again, I am fully open to being wrong.
Oh wow! Oh my God! Woo! They were like, oh my fucking! Yep. 1, 2. Woo! Come on!
They're about to hit through that cloud. Okay, through the cloud. Ready? Come on.
Wow, that's awfully fast.
Yeah.
Here comes. Yes. You're landing right in front of you.
Oh my God. Woo! Whoa! Oh my gosh.
Shows right here that, you know, in verse 3, or excuse me, in verse 4, that his tail drew a third part of the stars in heaven and cast them to earth.
Dang, come on. Come on. Are they going to slow down? There we go.
Gives us with the second sign, which is the sign of the dragon.
Okay, so I hope you guys understood, like, Adam's right on what he's saying. He's saying, like, right at the beginning here, what he was saying about the dragon, we're going to see it up in heaven, and he was saying, like a meteorite that looked like the movies, you know, like they portray it in the movies. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And that's why I turned on this little effect here, wherever it was. This one right here. This is the two boosters coming down and landing. That's what John saw. Fire coming down from heaven. Okay? Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. I don't know why these guys ignore it. Because if you don't ignore that and you there's a story to follow. There's a whole story to follow. And when you understand the four winds, which I already went over, and I'm not saying I understand, like, how high they are or whatever. I understand the story. And so, what happens in the story? Let's go review it again. Revelation 12. In the story, it says, and there was war in heaven. This is Revelation 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels. And now, I'm just stopping a little bit here because those angels are in Revelation 7, holding back the four winds from hurting the earth. Because they're sealing the servants of our God in their foreheads. And you know what? There's a lot of information even on that. There's just a lot of information about these things. Are all some prophets saw all these things happening, and some angel showed him, or some vision he had, and they wrote him down, and they're spot on. So, sorry. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. So I'm just giving you my opinion now. This would be my interpretation now, what I'm going to say in the next sentence. Those angels, it sounds like they beat the dragon and his angels. And so then, hopefully the servants of God are sealed in their foreheads, because I'm guessing that they're going to let go of them winds. And there's going to be a big old earthquake. Think about it. The heavens come down, boom, and move the earth out of its place. And that darkness that we all thought was space, but we were born in a rough time, or we were born in an unfortunate time. We believed it was space, but it was actually hell. And so NASA's a really bad idea. And you know what? Guess what NASA does? They ascend into heaven, right? Space agencies, they ascend into heaven. Jesus said, no man ascends into heaven. So they're not going into heaven. They're going into hell. Isaiah 14 verse 9 says, I better look it up. It says, hell is moved from beneath for thee to meet thee at thy coming. And there's a reason why that happens too. Wow. There's a reason why everything is written in here. So why would hell be moved from beneath to meet thee at thy coming? Who's coming? Oh, let's go to Daniel 12. At that time, Michael shall stand up. What time is that talking about? That's gotta be when he's fighting the dragon. So it says, at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. I think that, okay, I'm not gonna, okay. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life and some to the shame and everlasting contempt. So, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna, oh, stream unavailable. What does it say that for? Oh. Is it this? I saw that for a second too now. I saw a black screen pop in. What is that saying? Stream suspended for, oh boy, what did I do now? I don't even know what that would be. Let me get something different in the background, I guess. Or I have something different in the background. That's weird. What does it say on my live dashboard? Oh, it says it was being blocked due to copyright. I wonder if I'll be able to get any information about that. But it says no content issues. Sorry, guys. I bet you I'll get an email about that. Pretty sure I will. Your stream is no longer being blocked due to copyright issues. I've been having a problem with getting blocked lately. Maybe it's the copyright that my mouse says. That goes against our copyright. Something. I don't know. Is it unavailable now? It shouldn't be. It should show just like Adam's screen or something on his video. Whoops. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Let's see here. Let me play the video that I made. They can't copyright strike me for that or block it for that. But I have to get it. And then I'm going to end the stream, but it's Isaiah 12, 13 and 14. And whoops, where is it? Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will read all the comments so I can know what's going on. I usually try to do that, go through after and just read the chat. Okay, so you guys have a good night, and yeah, I don't know. This felt like I was kind of all over the place, and I wasn't trying to be, but I thought I had a good idea, but then when my program went down, it just kind of ended that whole idea. So let's listen to these chapters in Isaiah. I'm going to read Isaiah chapters 12, 13, and 14. And in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee. Though thou wast angry with me, thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation. Therefore, with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation. And in that day ye shall say, Praise the Lord, call upon his name, declare his doings among the people, make mention that his name is exalted. Sing unto the Lord, for he hath done excellent things. This is known in all the earth. Cry out and shout, thou inhabitant of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. Chapter 13. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as the sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. And their time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. Chapter 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, and persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave, like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him under foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand hath stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety, and will not kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestina art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation, that the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it?